Hello and welcome to Wikipedia Weekly Network. This is another Saturday session about editing Wikidata. It's the third. It was never planned to be a series, but I guess it sort of is now, Alvin.
I believe it is.
Yeah. We don't promise anything or any days. We will just do this
No.
as long as we have fun and have time. And right now it seems to fit our schedules. So we will just go along, I guess.
Yeah.
We might even do more than weekly if it suits as well. We never know. We don't promise that either.
No.
So just enjoy
But we're
while
having
it
great
lasts.
fun.
Yes. And today I am going to start working a little bit about the global goals. Do you want to give a teaser about what you're going to edit in?
Yeah, I'm gonna continue with glaciers, but I'm gonna do a live property proposal, and I haven't done it in a while, so everyone can see me struggle just as everyone else.
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a sort of thing that you don't do every day either, because
No.
it's items you create all the time, but whereas properties, there are a lot
Yeah.
less of them. I guess we passed item number 90 million this week, and I think we have not passed property 9,000, so there's three orders of magnitude in
Okay.
between them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to share my screen here. So the reason to, that's not what I wanted to share. I shared your screen instead. Let's share my screen here. So the reason that I'm going to do some edits in the Sustainable Development Goals is that I'm also part of the Wikimedians for Sustainable Development user group. And I guess it was about a month ago, one of our co-founders, Daniel Mitchen, posted about there has been an update to these goals. And I guess it's a bit over a year ago, I added all of these to Wikidata. So so now we're going to try. So in total, there's 36 changes. That's going to take some time to go through. So what I'm going to do, I chose one of the most important, but also one of the easier one where I actually get to create a new item. Because all of these changes are not new items. Some are going to be changes, but I haven't really figured out yet how we're going to save that and model those changes. But creating new items, that's easier. So what I started to do was actually, I wrote a little query. I think I need to zoom this in a little bit for it to be possible to read. So what this one actually does, it more or less just lists all the goals, and each of the 17 goals have a target, and these targets have some of the indicators, one or more indicators. So if I scroll down here, we can see we have a goal in number 1, which is no poverty, and target 1.1, and we have an indicator 1.1.1. And as you can see here, for target 1.2, we have several indicators. And today I'm going to add a new of these indicators. So under the goal 13, which is about the climate change, we had our 13.2.2, but I'm going to need to zoom in here as well. But here's the new one. This one was added in the last meeting. So 13.2.2 it is an indicator about total greenhouse gas emissions per year. So I'm going to try to add that in. Just to give you a sense of how this looked, when I did this import, I think that was my first try of using quick statements. So they're quite bare bones. So I'm going to try to flesh these ones out a little bit more. But I'm going to use this one as a base for me right now. So what I will do is actually, and I'm just going to go back to make sure that no one actually created this. So we'll scroll down to the indicators. 13.2.2, there's no one there. So there's still room for me to create one. I actually should probably also do a search first. Put this in. Oh, so there's just one. So we're going to add a .2. So create a new item. And it's going to have the label .2. No. So I'm going to just copy this and change one. The way we tried to figure out before how to actually capture this was that we are using actually but and just copy this text into the label. I'm going to make an alias, the short. And wherever you are watching us from, you can always comment and we will see it in a collected view here. We're sending this in several different places. All right, I think that's going to be good enough to start with. So I'm going to create that one. And we're going to add some basic statements. So it is an instance of an indicator. That's going to be my new, I haven't done one of these in this year, so this is going to be my, towards my 52 Wikidata weeks as well. Sustainable Development Goals indicator? No, but goal, not in plural. Here we go. And we'll publish that, and we're also gonna say that it's the facet of the same thing. So I'm just gonna copy the Q number from this item. And I'm not particularly proud of the modeling with facet off, but I think that was the best I could come up with at the time. So I'm going to keep it because now the query actually works and all 17 goals and all the 240 indicators are modeled in the same way. So it sort of makes sense, but if someone has a better idea, please let me know and I'll be happy to try to implement that. So this one was quite interesting because this one had the topic greenhouse gas emissions. So I'm going to add that as the main topic, main subject even. And that's going to be greenhouse gas emissions. Or I found something here. No, not the. Or is it just greenhouse gas? Yes, I'll go with that. And then I think we have a date in this one. There was not a date in this one. Was there a date over here? It said 6th to 9th of March. Yes. So 36th of March. So we're going to add 6th of March. And do you think a start date is good for this?
Is there a start date? Do they consider them having start dates? The goals?
Or should we just use published?
Published, yeah.
Published is probably better, yeah. Publication date. 200306. And then I guess we can add this one to, this is a PDF. We can add that one as full work available at, full text. Full work available at there. This one is in language of work. It's going to be in English. Yes. And should we try to archive this as well? Be a good internet citizen. Let's see if it works. There we go. I think we managed to archive a PDF last week.
Yeah, it should work. It would be neat with a gadget to do this in Wikidata, actually.
That would be super neat. Just
Yeah.
press archive this and add it to the item I'm currently working with.
Yeah.
Yes, it did work. So I'll copy this, add it in here. Good. We can publish that. And what else can we say about it? We do have the connections. Oh no, did I have some troubles with connections there? Did you hear me all the time?
I believe we heard you all the time, but you
All
blacked
right.
out for a while.
Yes, all right. It went black on my screen as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. I think this is quite good. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue here. So usually I have just been focusing on adding the actual item, but in this case, I also know a couple of places where it can come to use, because I found this list of countries by greenhouse gas emissions.
Oh.
So these are the things that are going to be measured by this. And there's a property called key performance indicator, which also has this measured by or indicator as aliases. So I'm going to add this to this. So this is going to be the key performance indicator. And what was the item number? Yes, 90 million something. We'll add that there. Get it into a network. Oh, and I see here also. This tab was loaded before or previously, so it wasn't in English. Oh, let's switch here. See if it goes back. Yes. So this one is on a focus list. And I guess everything on target 13 should be on the focus list as well, because the target 13 is, or goal 13 is the climate change. So I'm going to give them a hand here, the project. I'm going to go back. Put this new indicator on focus. Yes, for climate change. And then I'm going to make sure that the other ones also have that. So we'll go back up to the target, add it to this one as well. Publish that. We're going to go back up to the goal. And that's the climate action goal. So of course we're going to add it to that one as well. Oh, the French Wikipedia actually have articles about each and every goal. Good work. I like that.
Oh, and I see they released the icons openly.
Yes. So that's an
They did,
interesting thing
yeah.
because it's partly thanks to John at who is the
Okay, yeah.
Wikimedia in residence, because they published it with a homemade license, which was sort of intended to be some sort of Creative Commons license, almost, but it had some strange things that almost made it sound like they were non-commercial. But he managed to straighten that out. And then, yes, so here's something, a question here from Larissa. Would it make sense to add climate change as topic and UN as author? So yes, so on this item, it would for sure make it all is it also already main subject climate change. But I don't think we need to put the author on each and every goal. So that's just needed on the top level. And here's a question. Are you going to add a method of discovery / measurement as well as a unit of measurement? I would like to. Let's see if I can do that. That's a very good idea. So let me find my screens here. So I'll go back into the indicator and I'm going to see if there's unit. No, I don't think we have recommended unit of measurement. Oh, we do have it. So that's good. Now I'm not sure what we actually do measure this in. Maybe we can get some sort of clues from these articles. So here it says just metric tons. So it's actually just weight. That's pretty easy. But I'm not sure that does it make sense to specify it? And now I think that, oh, Albin, he was having some connection problems previously. Let's see if he can come back. No, back. All right, I'm back. Let's see if I can get my screen up again. So there seems to be some problems. And Alvin is also back there. But there seems to be some problems in his end as well. Yes, so I will not add the recommended unit yet. But let's see, I had some more things to do. So this was one target. This one has several. I think there's at least one more here that I need to do. Or is it a whole bunch? Yes, it's going to be a whole bunch. It's going to be all of these. Oh, there's not too many. 1, 2, 3, maybe. Well, that's not fun to watch, just me adding the same thing in 10 places. So I'm going to skip that for now and go back to these greenhouse gas emissions. And the question here now is, would I add more of these? Let's try to add some sources to this one first. A little bit all over the place right now, I guess. Sorry for that. It's a little bit for the internet being laggy as well. So let's add this as a source for the publication date. And I guess it's a little bit inconsistent to have the publication date on this, but not the other ones. But this one was published at this later date, so I think it's important to actually show that. And I'll have to go back and add the previous date on the other ones, so we can see how they were built and added over time. I retrieved this today. And as you saw there, the date was added automatically, which is a very handy little gadget. I can totally recommend that if you haven't already turned it on. And I realized I didn't even zoom in that much. That's gonna, oh, that's too much. No, you don't even get, let's go back down. There, you might be able to see something. Let publish that. And come on, yes. Oh, here's also important, adding this in several languages. This should probably, well, let's see, what did I use on the other ones? Let's go copy word for word. Used not capital letters. Let's do it like that. There we go. So at least Swedish and English. I could probably go with the description as well there. I think we can add a short title to this one. So that would be just 13.2.2. And language. Ooh. You're back.
I am.
Yay.
I had to turn off the 4G network here.
Oh no. So you're.
But it seems to work anyway.
All right. And at the meantime, I had some. I was kicked out of the StreamYard as well, but I managed to get myself back in.
Okay.
Yes. So do you know how you do it when, is this 13.2.2? Can I say that that is English?
Oh, isn't there a better property?
Then short name? Well,
I don't know if there's
well,
something.
you
It's a
can
type
have,
of
of course have,
identifier.
what?
It's a type of identifier to me.
Yes, you're probably right. So maybe it's not the short name. Yeah. So let's add title instead, which is going to be the long one here. I think that's pretty good. So as you saw, I had quite a lot of cleanup work to do. I'm going to add the project, focus on project on all these. That's going to be like 15, 16 edits, but I'm not going to do it here because it's just repetition. And the same I'm going to do for all of these Wikidata items. I'm going to add it as a facet of. That's going to be another 8, 9 edits, but that's also going to be not very fun to watch. Hey, but I see something here. This one doesn't even have an instance of. So this is going to be instance of. This was very tricky to figure out because this is not like an ordinary item, so to speak, because it's not really a thing in the world. Because after a little bit talking in the Wikidata Telegram channel, I got the tips that there are some sort of, oh, I can even spell to Wikipedia. There are Wikipedia overview articles. And or my computer is. So here's a question. Wouldn't it be nice if mul were a usable language code? I'm not sure what mul is. I think there's way to indicate not applicable, or perhaps you mean null, like there is no language code for this. I think that's actually possible to do, but I don't know how to actually do it. So yes, I think I'm going to be happy with that for now. And oh no, I'm not going to be happy because I cannot leave this. There we go. Swedish label to that as well. No, now I'm, I was referring to, and now I would be super cool if I could actually copy that. I cannot, so I'll have to enter it here. Can you read it up loud to me and I'll just enter?
I'm entering it myself right now.
All right, so go 2092 23490.
Multiple languages.
Uh-huh. And I could, of course, not. So, yes, I've seen people use that before. So I think I'm actually gonna go back and add it now, the way I started. And then you can edit for me if you think it's still too bad with a short title.
I guess you could add a new value as well.
No, I'm back, I guess. I hope.
Yes.
Yes. Let's see if this works. No, it's not a known language code. All right, I'll give up there and hand it over to you. There we go. All right.
Here we go. Uh, so, continuing what I've done the previous 2 episodes, I have edited quite a few Swedish ones, and I have found this very common source, which is actually a real database that's commonly used, and it's often ended up in the URL property by now, but it has a clear identifier and it's well used, has been around for a while and such. So I thought it would be a good idea to create a external identifier for it in Wikidata. I haven't done this in a very long time, so I would do it from scratch. But it's a database from Stockholm University over Swedish glaciers, and it's really useful. It contains a ton of uh, data related to the glaciers and their size, their area, and such.
Nice. And you already researched that they have a good ID?
Yeah, so I looked a bit on the ID. It's clear. Has been around for a while. Uh, has a very basic syntax and such. So did
Nice.
some minor research on it, and I think this would be a good addition. So I'm actually just gonna do it from scratch, search for property proposal, see how I did it the last time. Mm.
Have you done many property proposals before?
Not more than 1 or 2, I believe. I do them very rarely. I comment every now and then when, but that's it.
Yeah.
They have a nice page here. This happens to be natural science. Or is this where I create them? Okay. Yeah, I can propose one here. I've actually already thought of a name. I think its English name is Sweet.
Oh no. You're back.
Um, Oh, and again. Okay. A photo of a name, Swedish glaciers. It's the official name of the small dataset. Used to show it off. If I click on it, see if there is a table over.
So what are you looking for now?
What did you say, on?
What are you looking for now?
So I'm just gonna show the database.
There.
I'm gonna show the database. It's this list will fill some things in for me already. And it will load an editor. Yes, it does. Status, leave this empty. Okay. Description in English, I'm gonna leave that to later. Item corresponding to the concept represented by the property. I believe that should be glaciers, which I have a queue number for. I expect it to be like this. More information. Infobox parameter, I'm pretty sure there isn't one. The data type of it is an external ID. I assume they want it like that. Domain, this is actually what type of item it is, if it's a property or like theme or such. That may bear this property. That should then be items. Allowed values. Type of linked items, queue, template, or text, string pattern. List or range allowed. Actually gonna do something that's called regex here. So the identifier itself here looks like it's just a number. So I'm gonna write a regex for that. I just happens to know that in my head. But there are different type of tools to actually do this kind of thing, deciding the pattern that an identifier can have. I happen to know that it's any type of number and could be more than one of them. So this small one here. Allowed units. I don't think there would be a unit. This is, however, interesting. External reference URL, Wikipedia list article, etc. That should be this table, I believe. Even if it isn't open itself, the identifiers comes from here. So that's the source.
Yep.
And then examples. That's a good one. I have an example queue number, I believe, and the value. So I'm just gonna do a couple of these. They wanted free. I'm gonna go back to this glacier, which has a described by. It was ID 62 in this external database. And we have the queue number up here, of course. so I believe it should look like. But now I'm somewhere else. Yes, I am. What am I up to now? Let's see. 62 up here. Editing it in. I'm gonna leave the examples out for now. Glaciers. Plan used within the next month. I actually intend to just import them with a bot.
All right, that's nice.
So I'm just gonna write automatic import of all identity. This is triggering. Of all identifiers with items existing in Wikidata. I'm not going to create all the new ones because I would need additional sources for that. The data in this database itself isn't open. Items existing in Wikidata. Number of IDs. That's a great question. This is great. You just have numbers along the side there. 161. That's a neat way. Sometimes you have no clue.
That's a fairly small number
At this
for a
time.
property, is it?
It is. Because this dataset, it has a small set of glaciers, and all of them are kind of common and big. That's a requirement for them to be in a database. So I actually expect this to be complete at one point. Because I believe all of these glaciers should be in Wikidata. The 200 largest one is Sweden should be in Wikidata. I believe it makes sense.
Yes.
Format the URL. So this is actually the URL that you would go to without the identifier. So the part without the identifier itself. And again, the description here says we should replace the identifier with this. So I would do that. External link identifier string to sister projects. I don't think there is a good one for that. External links. No, I'm just gonna leave it like that. See, also, I would actually really like to have this one for similar databases in, for example, the Orchard Scandinavian countries. I think it's more important to have the very common ones. Which I should be able to look up. This glacier just doesn't happen to have one. So I'm gonna go to VDQS and pick up a property here. Property 6,799 because I believe it's the most common one for glaciers, the external identifier. So I at least want to have one C also because it also allows people to discover properties in a really neat way. And also when this property is created, I would go back and add C also to a lot of orchard properties so that this one would be discovered as well. Sample. Semantic number can be validated with edit filter. I have no clue what this is. This is new to me. Do you know, Jan, what this is?
Filter. So that's abuse filter. So it's if there's a, I guess it's possible to give a warning through the abuse filter if you're entering it in the wrong way, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
But then, of course, you need to create an abuse filter first, and you haven't yet.
Exactly. That's interesting. That should probably have a link in it.
Yes.
For Watcher people to know. Robot and gadget jobs. I gonna add a note here that I will do an import with my bot account. Which is my username underscore bot. So my bot account will do an import. It's already an approved bot account on Wikidata. So that's it. Add your motivation. I really feel that it's missing an official type of URL for the dataset.
Except for source and formatter.
But okay. Yes, so source is the source, but there's also like an official description for the data saying all of its content.
Yeah.
Maybe one can, when it's created, add more than one URL, so to speak.
Did you add in the top translations?
I have not. So I haven't even added the property name yet.
Yes.
I'll trigger this in the title.
Yeah.
I save that for later to do author part and authoritative data. Database of glaciers in Sweden. Can break it up. And I want to explain that this can also already be applied to a lot of items. One wouldn't need to create new ones. Applied to many existing items. I'm gonna leave it like that and start filling in the property name, which I believe there aren't that many Swedish databases about Swedish glaciers, so I'm actually gonna call it Swedish glaciers. It's also the official name of the dataset itself. Although it could be more than one. Someone could rename this later. Swedish glaciers. Property names in some orchard languages. Let's see. How is this supposed to be? I'm supposed to uncommon this and replace it with a Swedish language tag. Okay. So Swedish, svenska glaciärer. Det ser rätt ut. Whoops, it's looked right.
Yep.
A description in English. identifier. What could we write here? Identifier for Swedish glaciers. Do it
Yeah,
as simple as that.
or glaciers in Sweden.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Oh, and it's not the property name anymore. And I want to do the Swedish one as well, because it's a Swedish property. I could go in and add more languages later if I wanted to. I actually don't think it's that important for this type of identifier. Something like that. I'm hoping I will spell it correctly. And I still need 2 more examples before I'm done. And I actually gonna go back to this list here to figure out a couple of ones that I assume are in Wikidata. That one we have already done.
Oh, no.
Search for one. Wikidata. This should really be in Wikidata. Let's see if Wikidata wants to respond as well. Could go back to the table in between. Yes, and there it is. So going back, adding a queue number.
Can you zoom in a little bit on this one?
Looking at what that identifies.
Yes, that's good.
So adding more examples. Totally lost myself here. See if I can find my way back. No, here it is. 71. So it should have that identifier. We need an additional one. Going back to the list. Wherever I had that. Here. Need an Osher common one. I believe this one should be Wikidata as well. Oops. Searching. No, or possibly. No.
No, no.
I see need. I know this one at least. I think I've even edited this one. Oh, here we go to. Yes, that should be it. Just gonna double check. It doesn't seem to have a Swedish label, but only a Norwegian one. Glacier in Sweden says in German. So this is it. I'm gonna copy the queue number. Go back to my proposal. Add it in there. Look up what that. It's 66. I could see from the URL. So I think that's it.
All right.
I'm just gonna walk it through. So I haven't made any mistakes, obvious ones at least. So we got a English name, which I'm happy with. We got a Swedish name, also important as a Swedish identifier. Description both in English and Swedish. The subject item is glacier, great. Info box parameter, it doesn't have one. It should in the future or with a Wikidata powered one. Maybe something for the future. We have the data type of an external item. The property applies to items. The allowed values are numbers.
Wait, should
It
domain be
allowed
more narrow?
units. It doesn't really have a unit. I don't think you can have a more narrow. So theoretically, one could have narrowed it glaciers, but there can't be an instance of a Swedish glacier. So the domain is glacier, I believe.
Yes. All right. So that's how you.
So this would
that
only
one-
say also if it's a lexeme or not.
Ah, all right. You sure?
So it's more the type of item. Yeah, I believe so.
All right.
Feel free to look at it. I continue.
You
The
continue.
source.
I'll do some checking.
Yeah, great. The source, I pointing to that table that gave a really good overview. I created a couple of examples where I would like to use this. I'm not going to provide more examples. I'm actually even going to delete example 4. And use automatic import. Let's see if that ever happens. Number of IDs. I had a very exact number there, 161. I expect all of those to be in Wikidata at some point. I have a formatter URL, clearly stating where the ID goes. I really believe also that this could potentially go. External links could go into. We could have something here, but I believe one would put a domain name here, and there are multiple data sets under this domain name. So I'm gonna leave that out. See also, I added a very common identifier. Again, I'm gonna walk through existing identifiers and add C also back to this one if it's created. Robot or gadget jobs. I'm saying that my bot account will import it. And the topic which is added here is natural science. And I wrote the small motivations stating that it can already be applied to existing items and that it's a common database and it's authoritative. So that's it, I believe. Have you found anything, Jan?
Yes, I have. So I'm just going to share my screen here so that you see. And I'm going to zoom in as well. So this is another one. This is a property proposal for viewpoint heading. And there the domain is much more narrowed down to items.
Oh. Okay.
So I think that's... I'm going to check the created at here. Here's the domain, the creative works. And what's this? And here's the domain is taxon.
Okay.
So I think you could add glacier there.
But what's the subject item?
So the subject item,
exactly.
Could it be the same?
I wonder if it has changed.
Perhaps it has. Does this one even have a subject item?
Exactly.
Yes, it has. Yes, so here's the subject item. Wait, where did it? So this subject item is what is represents. So an item for the database itself.
Okay, that we better fix. It actually don't have one. I'm sure. And then we wanted the domain to be glaciers. And I also saw that it actually used the template for Q numbers. So I'm gonna wander around this proposal, make sure it uses that as well. I only think that's it now. So going back, updating it, that it looks right. I'm gonna leave out subject item. And I feel we can publish this.
All right.
See what happens. Following up at another day. Publish page. I'm gonna be very verbose here. Creating proposal.
Yes.
And publish page. And it should reload itself. Okay, it's
Yes.
a large red text.
It's a very big reminder.
I'm just gonna click this too. See what. Yeah.
So you have created the
This is
proposal,
interesting.
but it needs to be added to the list as well.
Okay. Does it? No, it just had the link to me. Clicking a large button. Is it clear to me what I should do here? No, it's not. I can
I
promise
think it
everyone.
says in the top. No.
Okay. No, it's just the piece of wiki code. That was a big red text without much follow-up, to be honest.
I think you're supposed to put it in the top of the list so that the oldest ones are
Okay.
pushed down.
Yeah, but what am I even looking at?
So this is the collection list of all the proposals.
Yeah. Should it go? Let's see here. If I just look at it, so I see what's going on here. So it's done by subject somehow, and all of this was just Q numbers in the wiki text. So I couldn't really read it.
Yeah. There's actually a heading for glaciology. Seems like the right place.
Yeah, there is. Yes. Oh, this was the longest. Let's see here where that goes. Okay. Then I gonna go and search for it here, but I can't find it on this page. Okay. Because it's inheriting it from somehow.
No, but it is done with the label, not in text. So it's just the QID for glaciology.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
The upside is if you have that language to your own language, you will see it in your own language.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, but not in wiki text still.
No.
So for pages that it's being edited, it isn't that useful in my opinion. I don't know if the visual editor works with this.
I think it does.
That could be a useful Wikidata. I'm just gonna assume that it's Swedish glaciers. But I should be able to preview this. Hopefully.
It's a big page.
Yes, it is. $11 matches. Okay. Yeah, it looks good to me. Gonna see. Yes, it looks similar to the Orchard one.
Yes.
I'm just gonna go ahead and publish it.
Yeah. You saw the warning there of missing $1 in the formatter URL? But
Yeah,
it is
exactly
not.
after the.
Why? That's strange.
Yeah, it is. Gonna look at that. I don't think it's much of an error. If I guess it's something in the formatting or something.
Yes, probably.
And if that's the case, someone will just update it for me.
If you want to go vote on it, you have the
This,
URL
I'm
there
gonna,
in the bar.
Can I vote for it? I'm proposing it. Vote for it. Should I?
I don't know. I'm gonna look in those that we just had here. No, so when I made a proposal, I didn't vote on it myself.
No.
No.
I'm gonna see if I see an Orchard one with. No, I lost it. An Orchard formatter URL to see how they have done it there. Oh, so it's somewhat highlighted. Okay. I'm gonna take a peek on what it looks like. Let's see how it formatted. External formatter URL. It looks the exact same way. To my knowledge. If I take a look at mine again, clearly says it missing. Okay. Is there white space behind? No. Is it something odd? What if I type it myself? Like that. It says actually publish changes, so I wonder if anything changed. Or if it just always does that.
I don't know.
I'm gonna show a preview. Actually. It, however, says a weird summary here. But the format URL looks correct when I did that.
No, it looks nice.
For an unknown reason. I'm a little worried, however, by this if I happen to edit some. Just gonna quick. Can actually remove a dot there. Okay. No clue what I changed, but it seems to work this time. I'm just gonna blank this out and says it in minor one.
Yep.
Okay. There we go. That's
There we go.
how one would go ahead and create a property proposal. No one just sits back and await the feedback, notifying people that could be interested and such.
Yeah, I think you have some homework to do then, creating an item about the database itself.
Yes.
But I think that is probably not like super high importance or to do it exactly right now.
No, and also it's one might want to do something more systematically and do more of the databases there.
Mm-hmm.
And in general, I also going ahead and linking that database itself to things.
Yep.
But I actually don't. If this isn't approved, I won't create the item for the database because I would guess that would indicate that the database is not considered worthy of Wikidata, so to speak.
Well, I would say
But yeah,
even if it's not a property, if you use it as a source, you can use the property stated in and link to the object. It will
I
make it
could.
very
Yeah,
easy to find all the references from that source.
yeah, but that could be done already with a described by property.
Yes, but yes, but well, not as a reference for each statement. Described by is a statement in itself.
No, not as a reference statement. That's true.
Yeah.
But I would rarely see it as a reference, as, or I guess it's under US jurisdiction, one could use it as a reference, but under European one, there would be the database protection would apply. So you wouldn't systematically copy data from it.
Ah, yes, that's true. All right.
Okay.
A property proposal in about half an hour.
About half an hour. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm going to show it here again. This is where you can go vote for it. If you were
Yes.
interested in what I talked in the beginning about the Wikimedians for Sustainable Development, here is how you find us. You might even be watching us from a Facebook group there. And if you are interested in doing any live streaming, you're welcome to go to Wikipedia Weekly Network on Meta and see how you do to get a show online. And I guess with that, we thanks everybody who have been watching and hope to be back next week as well. Or what do you think?
Yeah.
All right. So bye
Bye.
for now.
Bye.